Hello everyone. Today we are having a panel of educators with us. So they all belong from different states of our country. So welcome all of you for our session. We are going to take on learning for schools from COVID-19. So we are having our moderator, Ms. Suchita Agarwal. She is the founder director of Kids Space Academy, Bangalore, Karnataka. Welcome Suchita ma'am for the session.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you for inviting me.
We are having Ms. Kavita with us. She is the principal of Chhatrapati Narsi Memorial School, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Welcome, Kavita ma'am, for the session. We are having Kadirasham P. Sir. He is the principal of Navnita Public School, Nerol, Andhra Pradesh. Welcome, Kadirasham sir, for the session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Having Dr. Neeraj Thakkar, principal of AG High School and GNG Parekh High Secondary School, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Welcome, Neeraj sir, for the session.
Yeah, good evening and namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. Having Mr. Rakesh Upadhyay, principal, Himalaya International School, Alwar, Rajasthan. Namaskar, Rakesh sir.
Namaskar. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
So today, though we are at the government had not given the clear picture when to open the preschool schools. So now we are having our educators with us, how they are fighting with Corona for the school, and after post COVID-19, how they are going to take everything in measures to take care of the children. So over to you, Suchita ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Monica. It's a great privilege to moderate this panel, and it is my I'm so glad to be part of this session and also ask questions to our great educators of this country who have so many years of experience, and that too will have insights from various parts of India. Moving ahead, I'll ask first question to Kavita ma'am, Kavita Sangvi ma'am. Do you think that this pandemic situation which has happened right now, it will change the entire education system of India? Like previously, the children were spending a lot of time in the school, and they were decoding the syllabus or the learning through printed version, and now they are trying to decode the audio and video version of it. What will happen to that? How they will be learning? What will be the decoding style? And also, what will happen to the number of staff which were present in the schooling system, the IMRs or the admin staff or the HR staff or teaching staff, non-teaching staff, support system, the management, everybody. And also, please give some insights about the buildings. Do you think that the building will still survive, or it will grow smaller in the size? So your views, ma'am.
Yeah, so there's so much. So yes, I can still say that earlier the entire learning was, you had your book, the students would take some pens, they would really highlight something that you learned. So the learning was more of cramming of knowledge. It was that you had to underline and highlight the important concepts for reproducing it again at an exam. So that was a learning that was happening earlier. Now what is happening is, because of this kind of situation, we suddenly now have to realize that it is no more mark oriented. It is now has to be skill based. So what is happening is, now when the teachers are talking to them, it is more try to connect on an emotional base, more connection on are the concepts going to be applied or not. So where people were shying away from technology, now everybody is embracing technology in a big way. So technology will be a driving factor in the education for tomorrow. And that's for everybody around. Now, if physical education, physical school is coming across, well, it will be a blended learning, because now classrooms will be staggered. So if I give an example, maybe if I have a classroom of say 40 students, I have 1 to 20 roll number coming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 21 to 40 coming Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So the remaining days they're doing online classing. classes. The other days they're doing offline learning. So the teacher's load is actually going to increase much more. I feel that more teachers will be required because you're handling online and offline. So you will require that many support staff also for the kind of teaching that you have, which a 5-day week school will become nowadays now actually a 6-day week working week. So you require these people coming in more. HR, all these IAMAs, because of the sanitation, because of the kind of concerns that we have to take into place, more people will be required. Because today onwards, we have started going back to school, and we know that the entrance itself, we have checks. So more people are needed to clean the school, take care of the school, admin also, and academic also.
Rightly said, ma'am. I completely agree that now the staff requirement would be more because of the protocol given by the government that we have to maintain social distancing even among the children, and also the sanitization work will be increased. What about teachers, ma'am? Do you think the teachers were actually earlier trained only to handle the physical classroom? So now they are doing online classes and all that. So what are your views on teachers who are going to join, school education system, how they would be in future? So what will be a role model future teacher according to you?
So actually, I can tell you right now what's happening, because since March, I think I must have taken at least 10 to 15 trainings with my teachers, and they must have undergone this entire transformation, because there has to be a lot of hand holding. Nothing happens overnight. I myself have been listening to so many webinars and conferences and all these things. So there's continuous training and learning. So what the future teacher will be has to be a lifelong learner who's equipped to with knowledge, skills, attitudes, and obviously someone who's a transformer, continuously transforming themselves with the current scenarios. So that's what I'm looking at in the future.
Wow, that's a nice keyword which you have given, ma'am, that if the teachers are transformer, they also can transform the other lives, which are children. Very nicely, well said, ma'am. Thank you for that. My next question would be for Rakesh sir. Rakesh sir, in 1835, Lord Macaulay had brought the English education system. And since 185 years, we are following the same education system. More or less, we are following the same education system, right? Yeah. So after the English education system had come, Gurukul education system started fading away. Of course, we cannot compare two things, but then, the Gurukul system was more of a skill-based learning for the children, right? So after the English education system came in, the Gurukul system started fading away. But after the pandemic situation, the children are at home and learning more of a skill. They're becoming more self-dependent, self-learning, learning the survival skill more rather than the academics and the books, etc. So do you think that Gurukul system is trying? We are trying to bring back the Gurukul system?
Good evening, everyone. Monica ji, I would like to extend my gratitude to you for bringing us all together on this common platform to discuss this pertinent issue. And Sucheta ji, I would like to thank you as well for raising this pertinent question. However, this is not the comparison, but I would like to put forward my views here. Yes, this is right that Indian education system, which was picked up almost 180 years before, in 1835, when the William Battic was the Governor General in association with Lord Macaulay, which was named as Macaulay's. Education of late has always been complementary to the social requisitions. Those days, the requirement, the East India Company, the Britishers, they realized that the Indians, they could easily be metamorphosed and utilized, they could be employed as per the requirement of the Britishers. So this is why they transformed the Indian education system from Sanskrit learning or from the Urdu learning, because India in those days was also a combination of two communities of Hindus and Muslims. So Lord Macaulay's philosophy behind transformation of this education system of India was, he wanted to make the Indians in their color and blood. but with their opinions, with their ideology, he wanted to transform them into the westernization. This was the thing. So it happened as well. However, he could not succeed completely owing to that due to Vernacular Act. The Indian system, however, Gurukul system, they started fading away, and the Indians, well, while following blindly the Western system of education and Western culture as well, they forgot their own values with passage of time. Now, when we compare the track of Indian education system in the past 180 years almost, we find that we are gradually shading away. We are abandoning our own cultural values, which were deeply rooted in our system, and we have adopted the British culture in itself. While the children during this time of crisis of pandemic of COVID-19, they are staying with their family, they are actually finding time. Even the parents, they are also devoting time with their children, and they are making use of this time to imbibe and induce their own family culture among them. Children are also, instead of showing their dependence for their own work upon someone else, they are learning to do a small work on their own. Teachers are also, apart from teaching them, educating them, the traditional educational text, they are enriching them, they are prospering them in the Indian values. And the children, those who are staying in their joint families, they are also spending time with their grandparents, and they are virtually finding time to know, to learn about their own family culture, and along with the culture of their own family as well. When we talk of the life skills, yes, in the school circumstances also, schools earlier in the offline classes also, they were educating them the different life skills and different methods. But now, while they are spending time with their own family, they are learning about different things of artistic importance, about the lyrics as well, and they are finding time to explore their latent, their hidden talents. And this is a good time for restoration of lost Indian culture and civilization. So I agree with it, that in a way, because there are two facets of any coin, live it or leave it. So the situation, if we are pessimistic, we would try to escape from the situation. And if we are optimistic one, the children and the parent, they would like to confront the challenge, and they would like to make use of the available time with them. And we are finding the results also, while we compare the ferocity of this problem with the global scenario, we find that the Indians, due to their strong immunity, they are getting through it in a better way, and they are confronting the challenges globally. Thank you.
Right, very well said, Rakesh sir. I completely agree that children are very adaptable, and whether it is English education system or Gurukul system, they just adapt very quickly and mold themselves in the present situation. And learning for them never stops. It's a natural process for all the children. So whichever system is there, they are still learning. Completely agree with that. So thank you so much for your answer. My next question is for Kadireshan sir. Sir, in India, Aadhaar card was made mandatory for all the Indians of all age group. So do you think now all the people in India should mandatorily have a gadget with an email ID, because of, everything is becoming online?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Sucheta ma'am. Right. Now, there's a comparison of UID and gadgets, mail ID, etc. The existence of UID, the introduction of UID and the existence itself was for a social survey, and the different classes of people and the beneficiaries, etc. So let's not get into that more. Now we are going to talk about the need, the necessity for the gadgets and the mail ID. Probably now, if we get back to 20 years ago, the gadgets which were a basic model basic model for the mode of communication. Now we have the entire world in our fist. So that's how the gadget has transformed itself from just a simple mode of communication to the whole world in the fist. Now, gadgets, availability of gadgets. When we talk about availability of gadgets, uh, in the present educational scenario with the pandemic and the to engage the children, these gadgets are a much needed resource. But let's talk something beyond the gadgets. Though you have a back gadget, you have a mail, all this, but the primary concern in India is reaching to the public, reaching to the corners of country. Still, we must be aware this technology, this kind of net facility, internet connectivity, or the gadgets. There are many of them who still deprived of the gadgets, and how do we reach them? So before getting into the necessity, the need for gadgets and the mail, the first point to be addressed is the connectivity and reaching out people from in every corner of across the country. Otherwise there would be again a lackey in a certain set of people, and the uh, the most developed 8 cities, children would be having a much greater exposure when compared to the other. Basically, I come from a school which is in a remote area, and at least 50% of the children or the parents don't have an Android phone with them. How do we engage now? So having a gadget, they at least 50% have, but we have they are in a remote area. So more than having a gadget, first point, underlying point to address is connect them. Certainly it will, once we give them connectivity, once we provide them with the necessary infrastructure, all others will fall in place. Now, we were never trained or we were never given a course on the usage of mobile colleges or the classes. Believe me, even the smallest of the child in a school is able to operate a phone, Android. So gadgets and mail ID would be an updation of the availability of the resources, the connectivity, etc. I'm also afraid once we provide the necessary mail ID, would it be very used in the process of education? There's also this point of addiction where children will just get addicted to if children would prefer rather a virtual classroom because of meetings and stuff's coming. Probably that was another worry. So basically, we will have to use the gadgets, but on the whole, my point is that before introducing gadgets and the other source, yes, it's very essential teaching the children. Nobody dreamt of such a situation, such a pandemic situation where all of us will be locked down inside for 3 to 4 months. Now, education cannot be stopped abruptly. We need to have a continuous it's a continuous process to keep the children engaged. We need this technology. This technology is the only handy one. For this technology, these gadgets, the mail IDs, all are very important but the underlying point is the technological infrastructure which is available to the children and the parents. If that is provided, then I we will make it as a compulsion to have this gadgets and the mail ID. That's my point.
Gadgets and rather than focusing on gadgets and its disadvantage, very well you have explained that it's about reaching out. So how you reach out, it can be an online medium, or reaching out through by a person. That's more important. So maybe the future can be reaching out in terms of using the technology, in terms of Dunzo is there, or a delivery guys are there, or courier is there. So reach out to the public with all the materials you have. Not necessary that it has to be online only. It can be a physical material also, which can be delivered at doorstep for the parents and the students. Very well said. Thank you so much for this answer.
Thank you, ma'am.
My next question is for Mr. Dr. Neerav. Dr. Neerav, we are everybody is talking about teachers, the schools, the management, the ministers, education minister, everybody, but very less people are talking about children. So what, according to you, what are your children doing? How are they spending their days and nights during this lockdown period? Do you have, are you in touch with them, and are you getting in updates on, how are they spending or tackling this particular pandemic situation? Your views, sir, please.
Yeah. First of all, good evening, one and all, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my views. So before I say something, I would like, let us pray together to God that let us come out of this pandemic and let us save this mankind from this pandemic. That is what we together pray. I would say one of the major learning, because our main topic is a learning from COVID-19. So I would say major learning from for our school leaders as well as society and community, being a community, that we may be later on we come up with a better, more disciplined society, more health and hygiene conscious society. Say this is what is my major learning out of this COVID-19. As you asked this question, like I'm dealing with the 9 to 12 standard students, say not primary students, but secondary and higher secondary students, because in Gujarat there is a model that we have a separate principal for secondary and higher secondary school. So majority of students, like we keep in touch with them because we are going with the online teaching. So I used to, like, I oriented them how to keep, like how to study during the online, what should they should take care being to take care of in teaching and learning. So while talking to them, I came, like there are few very interesting things came up from the while talking to them. So majority of them, they are in the participating in online classes, that is in because there is a promotion good government, so they now they're into 10 or 12 standard. So in the like noon time, they are busy with their studies for 10th and 12th because they are entering into the board examination. So might be they have engaged in some online coaching or something. So they interesting things. Two things are very interesting, that lot of students have shared that they are busy with the housework. Like they are helping their moms, they are helping in kitchen, help the household work, which is like, and they were sharing very enthusiastic that it is a great learning for them because they have never thought that they will do all these things. So they are very happy sharing these things. Second, what I learned, that they have a lot of family together time, which was not previously, it was not possible for them. So they engage with parents, they are playing cards, playing carom boards in the evening time. So this is the first time, that is what they shared, it is the first time in the history. Otherwise, normally my parents are busy, we are in the busy. Few students are busy with their online learning other than school, like they have taken some Python programming course or something like that. And one interesting fact, as I shared, like lot of students nowadays, they're not reading books other than your study books. So few of them, they shared that they first time like completed one novel or something like that is what they are sharing enthusiastically. So let us take a positive note from this they carry the which we want to inculcate naturally, but now because of this lockdown they got this opportunity. So this learning from COVID-19 and this learning from lockdown also, and this is how they are engaged. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for sharing your views on children, sir. And yeah, very nicely said that they are engaging in a lot of other activities, not only learning academics, like you said, Python classes and other classes, and also, yeah, survival skills like helping their mom in kitchen or cleaning up their houses and doing household activities, which they never did earlier, and also the family time which they are getting. There are amazing results when children spend a lot of family time psychologically. So thank you for sharing that. My next question is for Kavita ma'am again. Kavita ma'am, talking about online classes, like Dr. Neerav has just mentioned that a lot of students are on online sessions, right? It can be academics or non-academics as well. So back then, distance education, we had a body who used to govern and design some policies for distance education, right? Which somehow got closed after a few years of starting. So do you think, again, a distance learning education body should be there who designs the guidelines for online classes and also continuously monitor the same? Your views, ma'am.
Yeah, so basically distance education moved out and MOOCs came in. So massive open online courses have come in a big way. And all of us have been learning across from there itself. Like recently, I am going to complete a MOOC course, the School Student to Mars from European Schoolnet. So that way, so many people have been learning across this entire 3-4 months. So distance has now been actually replaced as I said, by MOOCs. So the MOOC body can be something which you already have, as Swayam we have, so many others we have in India also. We can have from the government one common body which can monitor across what it can happen across, but giving chance to different other streams also, not just one particular thing, but giving chance to say some STEM learning, say some vocational learning, some art-based learning, some music-based learning. So if they can channelize and then create different rules, so it won't be one rule fits all. It is like different rules for different kind of groups that we have. And that's what is the need, because you cannot just say now that, every one glove fits all. It has to be varied for different kind of students, for different age groups also. So yes, we should have. And honestly, MOOCs have taken up in a big way, because all the children also, I know that they are studying right now and taking those courses.
Right. Especially the security part, ma'am, it becomes a huge issue and concern for the parents and the school management as well. That what about the security of the child? They can incidentally get into something which is not good for them online, because nobody is monitoring. So obviously, if a body from government is there, it can help and give satisfaction for a lot of parents to still continue online. Right. Thank you, ma'am, for your views. My next question is for Rakesh sir. Again, an online question, online education based question, Rakesh sir. My question is, we have a national curriculum, right? So do you think we all, the schooling system, whether it is a preschool or a primary school or a secondary school, we all are following a national curriculum, right? And now, because everything is available online now, so do you think that our national curriculum will become international curriculum, as in our curriculum will be followed by other countries as well, maybe underdeveloped countries, something like Dubai or African countries, or neighboring countries who don't have a proper or upgraded version of a curriculum. So do you think they will be following our Indian national curriculum, and also vice versa, that we will be following other countries' curriculum as well? Because now everybody is online, even international universities and schools and colleges are online. So we also will be adapting their curriculum. Your view, sir?
Acting it with the previous one. See, one thing is there. However, COVID-19, it has come in a gigantic form, devastating economy and different diaspora of human society. But one way we can view, the shining light, and that is the field of education. We have found that the educationists, they have come up, and the tech has also come. Technologies, they have come up to help us out, finding and helping us exploring new ways in education system. Now this is the high time when we can hone, we can sharpen our ancient old education system, and we can intermingle it with technology. This is the time. Now, you see, previously the parents which were shunning, which were discarding the use of mobile phone in education. Now the schools, they are promoting the use of it, and children, they are also happily making use of mobile phone, however, under the able guidance of parents only. So unquestionably, there is no darkness in saying that Indian education system will remain national one only. We shall be interchanging the good phases in the education system. When we are making use of technology for a smooth teaching learning process, so we shall definitely be intermingling with. There are different, we see video conferencing, as Madam Kavita, she spoke of, right? The government has also given, CBSE has initiated about Diksha portal, right, about it. AR, augmented real learning hai, that can also be implemented. So whatever good things we are finding in education system, obviously after good analysis of it, intermingling with best practices of other countries, it can be made use for the benefit of an international curriculum, and that will be adopted internationally as well. When we as Indians are adopting good practices of other countries in our own education system, and if we have gone through the new education policy NEP of 2019, which is laying more emphasis on skill education, AI, artificial intelligence, etc. So now it would be wrong to say that national curriculum forever will remain national only. Rather, it will soon take form of global requirement, because requirements of society, human requirements, they are transforming, they are changing. So in order to empower the children of 21st century, we require to make metamorphosis in education system as well, so that the present challenges, because now the challenges of human society, they are transforming, they are changing, and education is the main tool which can empower, which can potentialize the generation of today to confront those challenges. So we require to overview, we require to analyze and introspect in the education system, so that togetherly, because now the frontiers, the confinements of the country's geographical boundaries, they are always there. But as far as when we talk of the ideology and the challenges which are coming for the global children, I would say, not for the national children, they are coming in one form, whether this is in the form of the climatic changes or the different changes for their own survival. So they require to find out, we require, as the global community, we require to find out common ways to confront those challenges, and we require to make changes in the education system, and some of those changes should be made common and for the implementation of the global learners of this planet. So this is how now international syllabus will become national, and national will become international. So now the borders, the confinement limitations, they will end up.
Very
this
well
was my
said, sir.
opinion.
Yeah, very well said, sir. Thank you so much for your opinion. You said you gave a good ray of hope for us, to our Indian people, that national curriculum will be international and international curriculum will be adapted by us also. And also, it's no more about Indian children; it is about global learners. Very well
Yeah.
presented. Thank you so much for your insights. My next question is for Kathireshan, sir. Sir, talking about teachers, as Rakesh sir has mentioned that education will be available online for international learners also, global learners as well. So what about teachers, sir? Now, since everything will be online, and obviously teachers also have to come to online platform to teach to global learners. So do you think, is it something teachers or management together should be doing to upgrade the skills of the teacher to have a very effective online classes? And also, please do add the point about the salaries of the teachers, sir, because they will not be working less skilled than IT professionals. They are not only educators, but they are IT educators now. So please do mention about whether they will be paid same as IT professionals or not. The question is, I'm asking this question only because the teachers are the least paid blue collar workers in India. So my concern, it's my personal experience and concern about the teachers. So please do add a point about that as well. Your view, sir.
That's a very good question on part of teachers. I personally, as a teacher, I would try to respond to this. Right now, teachers are going to be a tool, are going to take the technology as a tool for delivering. So they are having one end the children, they are going to have the other end the technology. They are going to connect it at least for some time now till the pandemic is that's going to get over, to engage the children. And believe no technology can replace a, a teacher. A pat by, sorry, these days we need to maintain social distancing, but still a pat by a teacher on the child's shoulder will take a long way. that that doesn't have a kind of limitation at all for the child to, but whereas this technology cannot. Now these technologies, which is a tool, is going to come handy, and so it is only upgrading the teaching a teacher's skills in handling, or how effective they are going to use this technology in the classroom or in this pandemic days, is what we need to. Like when I was doing my college education, the only technology I knew was the basic language and the logo on a computer language. It was basic and the logo, which nowhere is it stays now. I cannot just keep thinking of my basic language and the logo and then design all these things, because it's outdated, outfashioned. I need to prepare myself for the latest demands in the society, the latest demands in the which the children have, and so I need upgrade. So these challenging times, Corona has taught us a very big lesson, and especially with my teachers, the teachers community, it was all unprecedented, and nobody thought of this particular situation. They were very swift and quick in their action. They got used to this technological usage and then mode of engaging the children, which I think all the other kind of industries would be somewhere or the other would be involved in this technology, the software related, but the teaching, the education industries, only a part time they use technology, but now it has become full time in this pandemic days. So hats off to all my teachers who have come out of these challenging days engaging the children in a perfect way. But that does not get into the second part of the question on their salary. Yes, salary cannot be compared with the salary of a teacher. Uh, cannot be just counted in numbers or the digits what they are paid. And certainly, we in India regard teaching as the least preferred job. You don't get a you. It's a very pathetic kind of situation that some of them finish engineering graduations, and then they come down to teaching profession because they don't get any other kind of job. Now, when it is a least preferred job, the salary is also that way. But not all schools. A couple of schools somewhere remote area, we have still the salary is just like a breadwinner thing for the teacher. Now, the teaching as a skill using technology and then looking for upgradation in the salary, certainly I would not, but it makes the job much easier. That is the best salary what they can think of. They don't need to put in lot of efforts what they had been doing earlier, but with the use of technology, with the use of different variety of apps coming in, teachers may use they can be selective of the appropriate kind of technology, those apps available for bringing the children closer. This technology is only going to fill in the gap between the child and the teacher in these days. And now technology, in that case, if you talk about uh, uh, administrative reasons, parents were brought much closer. And we are talking about this because this is a situation which nobody expected. But last 10 years, teachers have been using technology. Believe me, they were all using technology in the form of interactive boards, the mobile app, and all those things. But because those face-to-face classes are missing and more so dominant with the online classes, we think that all the teachers have all of a sudden put their hands on the technology and developed themselves. No, they have been doing a lot of research how to engage the children and how to make their teaching effective. So that's the gap what they are bridging between the child and their themselves is the biggest salary. I believe we cannot really look into. I'm not talking as an administrator or a principal. I basically am a teacher as well, and so my point is we cannot expect a salary hike just because we are using our technology these days. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your views, sir. It was wonderful, and yeah, we cannot compare the technology, the situation that the teachers. It's just the method has changed. The teaching still remains the same. Thank you so much for your views, sir. My next question is for Dr. Neerav, sir. Neerav, sir, we have given as a school, we have given a lot of work to the child in terms of assessments, homework, and 1,000 sheets of activities, worksheets, a lot of things we have given to the children. But now, after this COVID situation, that kind of deliverables are not happening. Do you think we have overdone things for the children rather than we have given a lot of free periods to them earlier? Your views, sir?
I think let me share one thing. We all know that Finland is a pizza taste. Finland is a continuously performing very. Their students are performing very well, and if you study the system, they have very less number of study hours in the school. This COVID-19 gave us opportunity to for schools and students to go for the online teaching learning process. It was available, but we are not exhaustively using online teaching technology rigorously. But during this COVID-19, lot of schools and lot of people are using this online teaching learning. I think this is I would say this is how we are evolving even in the online teaching learning. This is a first phase of online teaching learning where we merely teaching the subjects. Or rather, in the schools, what we are doing is a lot of, if you say the entire timetable, in majority time, what we are doing is just imparting information, just giving information. So I think in a coming year, it will be a flip kind of a thing. Because of the technological enhancement and because now internet access of internet is penetrating even in the small town level, and all the informations are on the students as well as parents. Maybe in future students may come to get the information to the school. So role of the schools may change later on in very near future, because now informations are available on internet. So students will come for what students will come. Students will come for the inspiration. They will come for the training. I'm talking about the a later stage of the teenagers, 14 to 18 years students. So they may not inspire to come to school to just merely get information. So the role of the school is more activities, more training. It is a kind of a focused training, specific skill development. They will come for the peer learning. So it is, I would say, it is a flip side. It is a, so maybe you may have to decrease the school timing, say not for the 5 days a week, maybe 4 days a week, or say less hours. And it is a more flexible timing, you are coming for this specific training at this time in the evening, and you come with this specific skill or training. So role of the schools in near future, I may change lot of. I don't say it is a less hours, but it would be a very flexible hours rather. So student may not come for the information; they may come here for the training, inspiration, peer learning, then special skill development. So this is what do I see in near future. This is what is going to happen. So this is the online learning 1.0. Now let us see online learning 2.0, 3.0, and we are evolving that way. I would also say change of assessment, as you rightly said, assessment. So right now what we are assessing is a merely information, rote learning. So maybe in near future we may start assessing the critical thinking, more project-based learning. We'll give projects, project-based learning, project-based assessment. So this is what do I see in the near future. The entire role of school may also change.
Right, sir. So what I understand is school will become a skill learning platform more than academic learning, because academic information is already available online on a lot of websites.
See, whatever available on the net is students may get that information from the net. But for schools, they will come with these particular specific training, specific skill development.
Right. And there are certain skills which, online platform will not be able to teach. Just for example, socializing skills that can be taught through a common platform,
Yes.
which is school, right? And with a person who is a guidance provider rather than a teacher. So very well said, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your views. And
let me put that way. Yeah, let me add one thing. I'm not telling that this is the online teaching will replace the teacher. Education is a completely human affair. So I'm not telling that this will replace. But yes, school has to change their role, because students are expecting more just getting information.
Yes, sir. Completely agree with you. The role of the school has to change with the changing times. And especially after the COVID situation, definitely a lot of structure of teaching as well as learning would definitely change. It was a great pleasure talking and discussing on various aspects related to education, be it a child or a teacher or a school management or support staff or the current education system. It was a great learning from education leaders like you from all over India. Thank you so much for sharing your views. Over to Monica.
Thank you so much, Sujita ma'am, for taking the questions from all our educators. So, Kavita ma'am, there is a question, and even I want it personally from you. Yeah, Kavita ma'am.
Yes.
If you can just please give a message to the frontline warriors, that is specifically the teachers who are doing the role of an IT person.
Okay. So my message definitely is keep going, because you have actually shown the world how we can transform everybody behind us. So we are the front people, and we are showing actually how life is to be led in times of crisis and how to come out of it. We have begun actually shown the path of learning.
That's very true, Kavita ma'am. Kadirishan sir, this question we want to know from you. What about the slow learners? How can online help? Yeah, Kadirishan sir.
Learning for the online learning for the slow learners. Technology and online learning has brought in lot of effective animated versions and the content related to that. So when a slow learner, he could be passive in a class, in a face-to-face class, just because he's not engaging himself, or he's not part of the class for various reasons. Now it is a independent learning platform. Online learning is a independent learning platform where he is the only person who is engaged with the kind. And to make it more interesting, I know teachers cannot be replaced, but these online classes have lot of animated versions. They have lot of interactive questions. They have way ahead what we cannot bring into a class is seen in a class, which can enthuse a slow learner. It can create a kind of interest in the child, wherein he can pick up some interest and then get along with it. But certainly that should also be monitored. Like there are other disadvantages of using a technology platform for this. We cannot assess it 100%. We cannot assess the learning 100%. This is one kind of disadvantage which I find personally in the online learning.
Very true, Kadirishan sir. Yeah, specifically, you mean to say they need personal attention?
Yes, it should be monitored, and a kind of person monitored, and then the personal attention is kind of, you need to cater to each and every kind of student in the classroom. Some of them will be kinesthetic learners, some of them will be auditory kind of learners. There are different philosophies in education, but children would be than a very static model. When the model is so dynamic, when it is dynamic, children are more prone to get attracted to it, and that's where this animated versions and all come in and get the child motivated. That's my point.
Very true, Kadirishan sir. Neerav sir, we want you to give only a one-line message to the parents. A message in a single line, please, sir.
Uh, in one line, if I have to say, I always used to give one chat to the parents because one line it is a very difficult to say. For the, at least for the teachers, it is very difficult to say one line. But LCF, because majority of students are asking me this question: that how to handle, like how to take care of students while they are they have to study with the mobile phones. So it's very difficult, very distracting also. So I always say them love, care, and firm. Whatever you are, your stand is, you have to very firm with them. You have to love them, counsel them, and be firm with them.
Very true, Nirav sir. Rakesh sir, we want to know from you only in a single line a message to the kids.
There is plenty time available with everybody now. If we patiently ponder over this issue, so I would like to deliver my message to the children. Try to explore your hidden potential, because everybody has his own potential, own capabilities. This is the time that the children, in other words, because when there is helter-skelter burden of the syllabus, of the routine activities of the school, children, they are not finding time to explore the things of their own choice. So now they have time to find their talent. So in one line, I would like to give them, find out the best in you.
Very true, Rakesh sir.
Okay.
So thank you everyone, all the educationists for their time, for the acceptance, and specifically thanks to Suchita ma'am that you had moderated the session in such a good way. We had got all the gist how we are going to make it for COVID-19. Thanks Kavita ma'am for joining us in the session. Kadirashan sir, Nirav sir, Rakesh sir.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Monica.
much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sucheta. Thank you, Monica. Thank you all,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. So looking
Thank you.
forward to you in our upcoming sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.